So, one of our partners is on the call, and she would like to make a reaction. Um, Elodia, are you on the call? Can you hear us?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Marita, for the opportunity. And I would really like to thank all the speakers today. It's always amazing to listen to people's stories, especially when you find yourself in what is being shared. So thanks a lot. And I just want to give a special thanks to Dr. Monique for the purposeful discussions we had, and also patience. She showed real resilience that I admire. And Henry with the story of failure. It was not failure, actually, it was learning. And the mentorship he mentioned. Then Mildred, yeah, you show the power of giving ourselves a new chance and a new try. That is really appreciated. So we talk about preparation today when it goes to career planning, reference, profiles, interviews, networking in the journey with Chevening. And I really admire these achievements and the way it's still shining in your lives today. I don't want to get out of today's topic, but I would like to pick up on something Dr. Monique mentioned at the very beginning of this session, because it strongly resonated with me, and I hope with you too, and I'm sure it will help our next steps. So she talked about the working on our why. Yes, the deep reason behind what we do. So the why is I don't know how to explain. It's the most important investment we can for ourselves in our professional journey, in our personal lives. So why is it important? Why is it really relevant to stop or to pause at the stage and work on our why? It's because it gives us clarity, it gives us direction. When you know why you do your work, decisions become easier. You choose your project, you choose your roles, you choose the scholarship you want to apply for, you choose the opportunities that really align with your purpose. And I think it's far better than even than simply reacting to circumstances. I think that's what we generally do. We react to circumstances. And I know how challenging our context can be, but I think I think we don't have that much opportunity because we deal with what we have, we follow the direction of the wind, and at this stage, I think it would be important to really stop and strengthen our motivation and resilience. And your why will become your anchor at times. Remember the story of patience. Even when work gets heavy, even if it gets political or stressful, the purpose will keep you grounded. It will keep you focused. It will keep you energized. So working on our why will really improve the quality of our contributions. Um, People who operate from a clear purpose naturally bring more intention. They bring more creativity. And Marita today, she has no obligation to stay here today and to organize all these things. And I know, I hope you know how much it can be coordinating such a platform and organizing such sessions. She's sitting here just because she's living her purpose. She's living her why. And the why attracts trust, it attracts respect, it attracts collaboration. So when she starts speaking about her career thing, you just feel like it's part of yourself because she's living the why. Someone's talking? Oh, okay, yeah. So I was talking about the why, and the last thing I would want to mention about the why is that it expands your long-term vision. Your why helps you see your bigger picture, who you want to become, what legacy you want to leave, and most importantly, what impact you want to create, be it professionally or in your personal life. I also want to take this opportunity to quickly share my experience as a scholar from another organization. Of course, I'm not extrapolating. I'm very proud today to be a fellow of a German development organization that's called Bread for the World. I don't know if you know it. My journey with them spans more than 4 years. I have been an intern. I volunteer for them in Germany. 1 year fully sponsored, and I became a staff later on. So today, my work was so deeply aligned with their mission that even today, I continue supporting their work voluntarily. They don't ask me. Last June, I paid my flight ticket to go to Berlin just because I wanted to share my experience with the new cohort of scholars in Berlin. And next year, I will do the same to Lome, because there is a big discussion that they're organizing, and they will have opportunity to also talk about other development topics. So these moments, because these moments always remind me of something that's very powerful to me. When you know your why, like everything aligns. It's like when you discover a new word, I don't know, in a dictionary or in a text, it's like when you listen to the newscast in the evening, you will hear that word. When you read the newspaper, you will see that word. So it's attracting things that will align without any effort. So, and talking about that experience, let me just tell you that this is the life I've dreamed of, I planned for myself. It was the vision I had. So this is not just happening because I'm a fellow of Bread for the World, but it's happening, I think, because I already had the bigger picture. That's being a humanitarian and a development professional. So the scholarship was just, and even for us today, it's just a means. It's just a pathway to get there. The scholarship is just a period like for 3 years. And after that, I think we should ask ourselves, even before applying, so what? Because there's a life before and there's a life after the scholarship. And when you know that your why, everything that comes, you will feel it inside. And as you feel it inside, it reflects outside, and people can see it, and the opportunities will recognize it. So my final piece of advice today is that it's the time people focus on the how, like how to apply, how to succeed, how to stand out, how to this, how to that. But the how is never the starting point. The real foundation is your why. When your why is clear, the how will come at its own pace. It will come naturally. It will come confidently. It will come with far less struggle. And so, as we leave this session today, I just want to tell you that please take the time to clarify your why. It will guide every step of your journey, be it Chevening, be it Obama or Commonwealth or Bread for the World, anything that you want to go through before achieving your why. And it will guide everything that will come after. So thank you very much for the opportunity to discuss this. And I truly hope we will have the opportunity to explore this more deeply together in one of the coming sessions. Thanks, and back to you, Marita.
Thank you so much for jumping in on that, Elodia. Thank you so much. I would go down into the chat box. There is a question in the chat box that says, what happens if the 3 universities I selected for a particular program during my application process do not give me any offer letter, but I later receive an offer from a different university for a different program? Will this affect my application outcome in any way? And is it still possible for me to stand a chance? Okay, so this is what Dr. Monique and Patience.
All right. Now, what I've had somebody experience this just this past year. Here's the thing, you put in 3 options, right? And they're working on those 3 options. If you do not have, if by the time like the system is closing, which I think is in December, by the time the system is closing, you do not have options, uh, offer letters from any of the options, you cannot edit, right? Then that might be an issue that you put in for the next application. But you have up to December to edit. So if you don't have an option now, if you're of your 3 options, if you don't have an offer letter from any of them now, you can still go back to your form and go and edit, because that's actually one of the best things that's changed in Chevening process in the last 10 years. That was not the case in our time. We could not edit anything after the deadline, but now you can edit. So you can still go back there and change your options and put in a new offer letter. Put in a new university where you have the offer letter. And that's what somebody did. It's also possible that you can even change, if you have been shortlisted in January, you can change, present that you have an offer letter for someone else before the interview. So there is still options for change. But the important thing is that whatever you're being interviewed, by the time you're being interviewed, you should have an offer letter from a university that you want to go to. That's just it. And I always tell people, truly speaking, I think this is something that I'll share one of the links, one of the blogs I wrote on this. I'll share it with Marita to share with the WhatsApp group. Right. But it's a way of thinking that I think people need to, an approach. The way you're approaching this, right? You're thinking of the scholarship first rather than the admission. The scholarship is money. You don't have the opportunity for me to give you the money. Get the opportunity first. Get your admission. Get your admission to as many universities as you can possibly go to. Get the admission and hold it. Then somebody comes with the money to say, okay, I see that you have potential. I'm going to give you money to fulfill the potential. But if I can't give you a scholarship, you don't have the admission. So prioritize the admission. That's why, even though this has been postponed and it's this thing is being held now, this is the time that you get admission. And this is the time that you start applying to get admission to schools that you want. You start doing the research for the schools. So get your admission first. Prioritize getting that admission. And if you've gotten your admission, oh yes, another thing. If you've gotten your admission and you did not get the scholarship, you write to your school that gave you the offer and you ask to defer your offer letter. Ask to defer it to the next academic year. So that means they will hold it for you. Some schools will tell you that they cannot defer, you have to apply all over again, which is not a problem. But there are many schools that would defer, like my institution. I did not want to go and study in the UK, funny enough. I wanted a Commonwealth distance learning scholarship. So the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship would have allowed me to work to maintain my job, because remember, I just had a job in UB that 2014. So I wanted to maintain my job and do the master's by distance learning. So I applied for a master's, a distance learning master's at my university. And I had the offer. I did not get the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship. So I applied for Chevening. And I got Chevening. So if I had not deferred my admission from the distance learning program, and I asked them to defer it and switch it to in-person. So I already had an offer by the time I was applying for Chevening. And that sets you apart. So imagine now, I think Marita shared the other day, you have 100,000 applications from all over the world. They are not doing this thing. They're not screening it one by one. It's impossible. So the first screening is going to be automated. And the automated screening happens to say, did these people follow the rules? So did they follow the rules did they have fill out all the different parts? And then after that screening, now, how many of these people that follow the rules have, let's say, this number of years of work experience on their CVs? How many of these people that follow the rules have offers of admission from UK universities? That's when they start screening, like you can say a second screening. So you stand out when you already have the admission and then somebody is just offering you the money. I think Nigerian Cheveners are the ones that we have to thank because they really fought in a way that we now no longer have to write else for Chevening. Some of your schools might demand it, but Chevening itself no longer demands it because of the alumni body that actually fought for that. So because that was one of the criteria by which that number will also go down. So it's a way to say, okay, I meet the criteria. Now I just need to sell myself to you for you to bet on me. Okay. So sorry. The question, I think, it's a follow-up. I only got to know about the Chevening scholarship requirements 10 days before the deadline, so I had to rush to complete my essays. I didn't even bother mention to get me, so I just wanted to have the program I had in mind. Which is fine, but if you didn't get to that time, no problem. Just get an offer. Get the offer. Because we're talking here about Chevening, yes, but the reason I hammer the importance of getting an admission offer from as many places as you can is because it's not only Chevening. So if, for example, you're a brilliant student, you had this offer from this university, that university might have a partial scholarship, they might have a faculty scholarship and tell you can apply for it. The schoolmate I mentioned is Ngasa Zike. He's now one of the directors for Mercy Corps in Mali, and he had the Centurion scholarship from my university. So he was not on Chevening, but he was on the Centurion scholarship. And there were others on Commonwealth Shared, there were others on Fulbright. A lot of us were on scholarships. So there were different types of scholarships, and there are a lot more scholarships than there are. There are a lot more scholarships than there are. Let me put it this way. Yes, scholarships are hard to get, but it's likelier for you to get a scholarship after you have the admission. So it's easier to sell yourself. Somebody can only give you these options after they already see you as a candidate. But without that, if you're thinking about the scholarship first, it's not going to work that way. So once you have an offer, you can now start saying, okay, what are the ways in which I can pay this? I've seen people even fundraise their money and pay for their fees using GoFundMe, honestly. So, but you can't do that when you don't have the offer. So think about that first, because maybe if you have an offer at this place, you'll be able to sell yourself to another place. So always try and secure the admission, irrespective of where.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doug. Patience, would you like to add to this before we take the next question?
No, thank you. I think we should move to the next question.
Okay, thank you. But the next question goes to you still, because it says, what are the rating criteria for the interview?
Okay, I got written criteria for the interview.
Yeah, like the scoring. How do you go about grading or assigning scores?
Okay, I want to understand the question. Written criteria for the interview.
Rating. How do
Okay,
you rate?
rating.
Yeah.
Okay, the rating criteria. Well, I may not specifically say which, but first of all, your presentation, the way you articulate, the way you present your points. And normally before every interview, the interviewers get to read your script. They read what you wrote. And now, so on every interviewer's mind, the script, the criteria, I cannot remember specifically, but I know that on the panel, what we are looking for is, first of all, whether you can defend what you had written in your essay. And also, questions are prepared randomly and given to the interviewers. So there are specific questions that are given, that are prepared directly from the UK, and they are sent. So the interviewers select those questions, or the questions are given to everyone, and you are told when a candidate is coming in, the interviewers are told, you handle this question, you handle this question. So there's no specific question that I can say it was prepared, but as an interviewee, you need to be able to defend some of the points we already mentioned. Defend your essay and be ready to answer to what are your plans. The interview is basically on those four pillars of chevening, I would say. Be ready to defend what you had written, because at the interview, what the panel is looking is to see with you or do a deeper dive on your questions. You mentioned that you did this in this year and that, so a follow-up question could come to you even in any in on those issues. So while the interviewers have specific questions sent to them directly from the UK to ask you, there are follow-up questions that the interviewers now come up with based on what you had written and based on the way you're presenting yourself. And sometimes questions are reframed for you to understand what is needed. So be prepared to defend your essays. I think that's what I can say, because in your essays you already say a lot. Yeah, I don't know if that answers the questions, but I think a bit of it. Dr. Quacho, please, if you have more, you can add on that. Thank you.
I I have nothing else. I've never been on the interview panel, so I think Patience is the best person to actually answer this. For me, the only thing I did was I have an interview kit that I created for myself before my interview. So I was just doing research. You just Google what are potential questions that come up during the interview. What are past questions? You know, like GCE board that we used to have for our past questions. So I created my past questions, and I do this for every interview that I am on. And I do that past questions guide, that kit, interview kit, and then I respond to it myself, so that I'm already familiar with the answers I want to give. Because I think when you're there, you'll be doing like I'm doing right now. So you'll be the umming and the I, but at least you will have it somewhere. If you had written it down before, if you have answered the questions yourself before. So I do that interview kit thing. I know that this time, from what I've heard in the last 5 years, the last 10 years, things have changed. So questions have changed. The people that are interviewing are different. So I really think the key thing to just carry to the interview is your confidence.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, please, I would like to add something. Since you're asking about the interview panel, one thing about sitting on the interview panel is that the interviewer themselves are rated on the way they rate you. So that is a commitment that anybody who sits on the panel does. So when we are told to rate you on the different aspects that are given to us, we too are being rated on our sense of judgment. So you judge, you as an interviewer, you are judged on the way you judge others. So your sense of judgment matters. So please, that's just it. So I think the tips that we are giving: be confident, master your essays, be ready to defend it, and prepare yourself for follow-up questions on the things you have written in your essays. Yeah, thank you, and over.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I had those questions which were asked. I see there is no more questions in the chat, but I think I had those questions which might be beneficial to anyone in the as so maybe our participants. Someone asked me, can you still get the scholarship if you're done getting your PhD? And if there is any age limit to the scholarship?
Okay. Now, is the person already having a PhD? Already has it, or in the course of doing the PhD?
In the course, I think she said she should be defending early next year. Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think it's a problem either way. The problem is how you're going to sell yourself. My year, I got the Chevening scholarship with Fon Oliver. He's the fun of Babatu. No, not Babatu. one of the dog villages. It's one of the dog villages. But that was his second master's. His first master's was from Russia on a Prince Claude scholarship. Chevening was his second scholarship. And it's a matter of selling yourself. Again, when you're going to have to sell your why. It goes back to that. So, when they ask you that question, like, why do you want to study in the UK? And people are always saying, oh, UK universities are great. Oh, this one is this. And I just want to do this great program. But somebody's telling you, I already have this. And I need this particular thing that is going to enable me to move to the next area. Because you could do a master's here. Why are you not doing the master's here?
Mm-hmm.
So some people could have arguments like, my master's is not available here in the first place. The particular thing I want to study is not available here. But others will be able to tell you exactly how that particular study is going to change things for them. So it could be that, for example, I was trained in education and biology, teaching, and I have been teaching in the teaching field for so long. Now, to be able to move from that to environmental advocacy work, I feel like I need a master's in this. So it is a what they call horizontal movement, career move. So you're going to have to sell it as a horizontal career move rather than a vertical career move. So it's not about getting another degree that is higher, like a PhD, but it's about changing my direction in my field. So can you sell that this second master's that I'm going to go and get would enable me to do this this lateral move, this horizontal move career-wise, and give me a shift, a push towards a new career trajectory that I want. Because I'm in academia, because you're doing a PhD means you're going towards academia. But I don't actually want to be in academia. I have a new calling that is this. But you're going to have to be able to sell that.
Il faudra être capable de vendre ce prochain projet. Est-ce que le diplôme que vous avez eu, est-ce que le doctorat que vous avez eu vous permet de vous vendre?
But now wants to move in a new direction. So if you're giving me this chance, you're enabling me move in this new direction. Okay. I think it's just a matter of how you sell yourself again.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I just want to add to Dr. Monique and say that we even have a Mandela Washington fellow who, after doing his PhD, got the Chevening scholarship for a master's program. So it's about how you sell yourself. It's about, like Dr. Monique says, how you defend your movement horizontally into a new field or a new orientation, and why this masters or this chevening or the masters is important for you. And if you defend yourself well, you have it. Thank you, and over.
Thank you so much, Bert. Before you go, there is another question which came into me directly, like, is there an age limit to the chevening?
Short answer, no.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I see there are no more questions in the chat box. So I think this would again just be a call for us to bring up our final words and our parting shots. So I'll start it over from Mildred. This will be our last and final words to participants. But again, perhaps before Mildred comes on, please kindly fill the evaluation form we have in the chat box. Mildred, if you could kindly reshare for those who are joining just now or who might have lost that link, kindly give us your honest feedback so we can use that in improving subsequent sessions. Or if you need recordings and other materials that Dr. Monique has promised, please kindly join the WhatsApp group, because when we started, we would send these materials to individual emails, right? It's becoming really heavy following the number of participants in each session. So please join the WhatsApp group. Mildred will be sharing those two links. Kindly use them. Okay, there is a question that just came in that says, is it possible to amplify, I think she's meant to say apply for a master's degree with another master's instead of a degree? Mm,
Yes. When I was doing the Chevening, I already had another master's.
okay. All right. So, Seraphine, I guess she says the answer to your question is yes. Okay, perfect. That's instead of a degree. Okay. So, Mildred, would you want to start giving us your final words and parting shorts?
Yeah, Marita, thanks a lot for this session. I was really happy when you reached out to me to tell me that I'll be sharing my stories with other aspirants. So I really want those that are aspiring to apply for the next cohort, to really look into their essays. I think Dr. Monique and Dr. Patience has said a lot, and too, I've learned a lot, especially from the interview, because that's where I really needed a highlight on. So I would also love to tell the applicants because most people don't know what the STAR approach is. So
Yeah.
it's apparently good to use the STAR approach when you're writing your essays. That is one thing I learned from my previous essay when I was not shortlisted. So always use statistics, always use examples, practical examples. Yes, don't use AI. Don't use AI. So thank you so much, and I'll be happy to attend more sessions from Marita. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just again as a fun fact, Mildred has been a crybaby all along, and I'm super proud of her because despite how many times and how much she cries when she faces a failure, she still bounces back and she keeps going. So she cries a lot, but she still works hard a lot. So take this advice from her very seriously. So over to you, Henry. Henry, you're muted if you're speaking.
All right, can you get me, please?
Yes, please. 5 on 5.
Yes. I think interview now has been my monster. The only thing I would advise is that people should work on their public speaking. I mean, it's really something that is very, very important in an interview. Work on your confidence and work on your public speaking. Sometimes we have a lot we've done, but mastering how to communicate it in a very inspiring way is what makes the difference. I think that is one of my areas I'm struggling. I see how Marita speaks so relaxed, and so I mean she's good at communication. I just wish I can just hack her system and kind of install in my system. I think I'm going to use that to go through the it's so easy. So let's work on our communication skills, and it's very, very important in crossing the interview. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Henry. I'm still working on my communication still though. And again, this is a call to those of us who grew up with the pidgin background. Pidgin is good, but sometimes it gets to corrupt your English. So I'm learning as well. So that's number one. Number two, still in line with communication, like Henry mentioned, the Gen Zs are currently have some words which they get to use, and to me, they are clearly unprofessional. Clearly unprofessional. So these are some things that you want to take out. I wouldn't get into the details of picking out those words because you risk integrating those words into your write-ups without knowing, or even unconsciously, or even featuring on a panel and using those phrases even unconsciously. So you need to be careful how you bring that out from your casual discussions into the professional sphere as well. And something that has worked for me, some people say you need to practice in front of a mirror or you need to talk to somebody like Dr. Monique said, having a kit, a toolkit for either the interviews or say the written essays. Sometimes you could pick up some of those FAQs or listen to those who've gone through the interviews to see how your questions go along. They'll not be the same, but maybe you can practice how to communicate yourself using the STAR approach, because theoretically it's very easy to tell people to use the STAR approach, because even for competency-based interviews, the STAR approach is required. Even for your CV writing, you still need the STAR approach to properly structure your CVs. So this is something you want to really look at, and more importantly, seek help. So I'll flip it over to Dr. Monique.
Sorry. Okay. Just, I guess, last statement, I think I will say, if you're here because you're trying to prepare yourself against next year, I think you're already on the right track. That means you are planning way ahead. If you're here because you already applied and you just want to, even though it's closed, you want to see if you missed anything, calm down. So I know some people are here for different reasons, so just calm down. But above all else, I want people to understand that, again, the magic is you. It's not the scholarship. There are people that get the scholarship and they don't do anything afterwards. There are the people that get the scholarship and they don't have a great job. Life happens to all of us. The magic is actually you. So if you can keep the perseverance and resilience that Henry is showing to apply for 10 years,
Yeah.
he's going to succeed in anything. So even if he doesn't succeed in this, he's going to succeed in something else. Because that right there is actually what that is the magic, is the ability of somebody to continue coming back and back again. It's not necessarily the big lump of money, even though we want that big lump of money, but it's what we have in us that attracts it to us. Okay, so just believe in yourself and keep trying. Keep trying, not only for this, but other things. Believe me, there are many different countries, there are opportunities. Just don't try and box yourself into one thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Monique. And to say that when I started with my master's program, Dr. Monique was brought in as a guest in one of our courses at some point, and the same advice she just shared with us still makes part of the advice she provided to us at some point during our course as master students. I have a couple of my former course mates on this call as well, and they can attest to that. I also volunteered with Dr. Monique's organization on mentorship, career mentorship at some point, Better Breed. So I think she has a wealth of experience and she knows what she's talking about. Dr. Monique also has, I think, a consultancy structure to provide career guidance as well. And this comes with a slight token as well, because I wouldn't say payment, because if you want to equate the work people put in shaping your career, that would not even be equated to payment per se. So she does that, and I have shared that flyer on the CCN WhatsApp group before. If you would like me reshare that, I don't mind resharing that. You can contact her or her team to get that. So again, Mildred had shared the link to the WhatsApp group. So please join the WhatsApp group, and I'll reshare this for you to get that kind of tailored support that you will be needing. There is Dr. Ada as well on the call. She does a lot of this work around education and all, public health and plus. So those flyers, I have shared them on the CCN WhatsApp group. So if you want, I can share that again. So I'll be flipping it finally over to Patience to give us her final words and parting shots.
Yeah, thank you, Marita, and thank you to everyone who has joined this webinar. What I would say finally to us is just to encourage us to continue to aim high, prepare yourself, and then trust your journey. So, however your journey may be, whatever you are doing, just like we have Henry as our icon, I would say, for resilience, trust that you're building yourself, trust that you're going to achieve something you would achieve, whether it be Chevening or beyond Chevening. And also know that whatever you're putting into yourself would increase your potential, it will increase your earnings, it will increase the things you achieve in life. And there's something that I always remind everyone who is applying for Chevening. Always know that it's not all the time that you don't make it to the end that it's because of you. It doesn't mean you're not enough. It might simply mean that the strategy even at that time did not favor you. So I always encourage people to remember that it could be that at this point in time that you're applying for Chevening, what is a priority for the UK government is to invest in mental health. It could be the UK's priority area
Chevening,
of
ça pourrait
intervention
être
to promote
peut-être
entrepreneurship,
l'objectif.
promote, well, there's always health. So it could be that the priority area where the UK wants to put their money is not where you it's not your area of expertise. And there is something to some questions that I've had on the that other applicants have had on the panel is the fact that you are asked that if Chevening has already invested, let's take the area of environmental law for instance, or the area of gender and women. If Chevening has already invested so much money in training so many Cameroonians in that discipline, why do you think Chevening should or the UK government should invest in you again? Because they already know that in terms of that area, according to their agenda in Cameroon, they have already supported a number of persons that they think that as they are positioned, they can impact the nation in that area. So that's just an example of strategy which is beyond you. So it doesn't mean you're not enough, it doesn't mean you are not good, it simply means that you were not the person for that time. So I encourage everybody to continue building themselves and to trust their leadership journey. And yeah, thank you. Over. Yeah, thank you too for having me on the panel. It's been a wonderful experience for me. Thank you so much, Marita. Thank you also to Dr. Monique, Henry, and Mildred, and everyone who was engaged in the webinar. Thanks.
Thank you so much. What an interesting way to close it up all from all of you. I just again want to go back to the statistics that says for this year's application, those will be going in there. Chevening received what was it? 108,959 applications. And among these 1,008,959 applications, you are not sure that up to 15 out of these thousands will be shortlisted or will be granted the scholarship for this year, you know? So just like our panelists have been saying, it does not determine who you are. It's not like you're not deserving. It might just be that the competition was tough and for some reason you were left out. So I want to again use this opportunity to thank all our panelists who made out time. We started off planning for this in October, and because of the internet issues, we had to push it up until now. And yet they've been putting in the work at the background. They've hung in there just to ensure that this comes to fruition. I really want to appreciate you so much. I want to thank especially Henry too, because at some point we were losing out on the guests who could come over on this, and Henry was really working so hard at the background to help us fetch additional guests. I want to also thank Dr. Monique At the first time I just wrote her, she was so prompt in her response and was happy to join us. And this is similar with Mildred. I want to really appreciate you people so much because this is over 2 hours of your time that you've taken out to share your experience with candidates who are looking forward to applying or looking forward to boost their application capacities. I really do appreciate you for all of this. I want to again thank, recognize SICO Organization for our, in fact, our partners generally for partnering in this as well. The association of ASTI generally, then within ASTI we have the association of I think the Students Association within ASTI for partnering and collaborating. If you've been switching into the both languages, you would have noticed that we've had very smooth interpretation, which has been a recommendation from previous settings, from previous sessions. And I want to say it openly here that if you've done a session with interpretation before, you know how expensive it is to have an interpreter for an hour. So I want to again thank you people so much. We have over close to 4 to 6 interpreters in the booths. You generally don't see them, but the work, the language switching you've heard from the background has been from them, and I really do appreciate. Now there is Pixel Muse Graphics. I want to thank you again so much because you've taken up this responsibility for me. It used to be me all the time doing all of this, but you came in, I mean, without even pushing so hard, and you've been so prompt in terms of delivery and incorporating amendments to the flyers. I really do appreciate you all for your partnership and for the support and the different roles you've played to ensure that this webinar happens. I really do thank you all from my heart because this is a lot of sacrifice. This is a lot you're putting out. And I think our general goal at the end of the day is to walk people closer and even closest to their career goals. And I thank you all for being a part of this journey. I want to again thank you all who've been participants during this session. Thank you for hanging in there. There is a link to the WhatsApp chat group. We can take up the conversations from there. And we are more than happy to, provide you continued support moving forward. So again, these are words of thanks from my end. And again, to openly say for those who've been sharing these flyers and these links, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your efforts. It is not unseen. Thank you. And I think this is a wrap from my end. And to say, keep your head up high. Do not let your challenges hold you down. Just keep pushing. And I want to again pick from Dr. Monique to say, do not put your eyes just strictly on the good news you see out there, people sharing. Also, from time to time, go through the rejection stories people share, if at all they do. I think this, in a way, could also keep you encouraged and could keep you moving. So again, thank you very much for hanging on up until this hour. Thank you very much for being on the program. We would be having another session in another 2 weeks, which would be focused on guiding people on designing their career goals and plans for 2026 and moving forward. Thank you so much, everyone. And from my end, this would be bye-bye. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Indeed.
Thank you, Dr. Emmett. Thank you, Lenora. I see you. Okay.